Hey, welcome back. I'm so happy to be here for episode 4. Shout out to consistency. Shout out to everybody that has been listening to me thus far, and to all my new listeners. My name is Brandy. Welcome to the Grow and Flow podcast. You can call me Brand. So, y'all, I finally decided to stop being lazy and pull out my Canon because I have not been liking the clips that I have been putting on Instagram for my little reel segments, but I was like, all right, we're going to do a thing. We're going to actually do what we need to do to get quality content because I wasn't feeling my angles and all of that. And I do want to do some mini episodes on my Instagram, not just a little bit of a recap of this episode, but like, I don't know, some exclusive shit. But anyways, y'all, I got some wine because I feel like this episode is really about to stress me out, but we'll see. We'll see. So, the name of this one is Daddy Issues, or I might name it Family Issues. It depending how deep I get into it. We'll see when I drop it. All right, y'all. Take a sip. Take a sip. I wonder how that sounds on camera. Anyways. So, okay, of course. We know I'm an only child, right? So let me tell y'all a little bit of back history. Lord, if my mom ever listened to any of this, she'd be like, girl, not you put my business out in the streets. It's okay, girl. Love you. It's, it happened. Thing of the past. So, my mother and my father met in the military. My mom was actually in the military for 20 years. She retired. He got kicked out of the military. But anywho, that's not important. First sign of a bum-ass nigga. Can I say nigga up here? All right, y'all. I'm not going to say it that much. I just feel like everybody doesn't like that word, but anywho. So they met in the military. I don't know how long they were together before they got married. I'm sure she told me before. I actually don't really care that much because he was not in my life, obviously. All right, so very rocky relationship, okay? For one, because my mother was a single mom, okay? But I didn't hold that against him, okay? So, things that I remember as a child about him, I don't remember much. That says one thing. Everything I remember is all the bad things. So, for one, he was a drunk. So that's why when I was reflecting on, like, some of the choices that I've made while drinking, I think it's very important for me to consider that because just being that he relied on alcohol so much, I never want to do that. I don't want alcohol to control my life. That's really what I saw as a kid from him. It controlled his actions. I don't even know if it was that many times where I saw him sober. So, there was that. He was a little bit abusive towards my mom. My mother used to be out to sea. He would bring women to the house. Mind you, I'm young as hell, y'all. Like, I'm maybe I'm like 5 or 6. Zora, what are you doing, bro? Back up, my cat. I was pretty young, but I remember all of this, right? So I remember one time, though, in particular, this man had no shame. I went downstairs. I'm downstairs. He told me to stay downstairs. He bringing somebody in the house. And mind you, I'm paying attention. I've always been nosy. So I definitely snitched to my mother. But he brought somebody upstairs. And I remember I went through the peephole. I went upstairs. I looked through the peephole. And I saw them doing whatever the fuck they were doing. Y'all know. We grown. But at that time, I was like literally confused. I'm like, that's not my mom. So I snitched. And I don't know. My mom has never went into deep detail with me, like, of all the things that he's done. I don't know how much she knew about beforehand, or was that her first time doing it, or knowing about it, or anything. But I remember, too, he used to just always be fucking disrespecting, like, and I believe around those times where I saw some of those things, excuse me, what in the world? Okay. But he was just always doing something that he didn't need to do because my mom, she was out to sea. So, while she's out to sea, it's time to do whatever the fuck you want to do. And at this time, I knew he was kicked out of the military. So I don't even know what he was doing for employment. So you're being a bum from jump. I knew what a bum guy looked like. I remember he put a cigarette hole in the couch. Why are you in the house smoking a cigarette? Him and all his friends used to be in the garage smoking cigarettes, drinking beers, whatever. Not acting like an adult. Like, you know what I'm saying? My mom's out here taking care of X, Y, and Z, and you don't even know how to... What's up with you? I remember one time, it's such a vivid memory, and I was so young. He beat me before while he was drunk, and I remember that. And I just remember seeing that fear in my mom's eye. Like, I can't even do much because he's a man and he's not sober. Wow. Y'all, hopefully I don't start crying. What is this? So, it's been so many things of why I've never wanted to know him ever in my life. So, there's been times where he's tried to come back into my life. I remember on the house phone that we used to have, because we had that same number for the longest. He used to leave voicemails. Hey, Brandy, it's your daddy. Da da da. And my mom, she never kept him from me. She was like, if you want to talk to him, you can talk to him. But I already knew I didn't want to talk to him. He wrote me letters, never answered any of them. And you know, the gag is, on some of those voicemails, he was definitely drunk. So why the hell do I want to talk to you? Then in the letters, like, and I was younger when these were happening. When this was happening, I remember one time he came to see me at my babysitter's house too, when my mom was out to sea, and like I just wasn't engaged in the conversation. And again, I was young, but it's like he wanted to get to know me so bad, and I just wasn't interested. But as I got older, I don't remember the youngest I was. I think I was like. I don't know. Maybe my last interaction with him was maybe around like maybe 8. I don't know. Still before 10. And he never tried beyond that or anything like that. Maybe if he were to try now, I would be open to a conversation, but it wouldn't be you're going to be in my life type of conversation. It's like, I'm going to bless you with this closure. You can see and hear about everything that I accomplished, but fuck you. And I mean that in the most disrespectful way, because that's just how I feel. It's really the fact that I remember all bad memories for me. And I will never get over the things you put my mother through. And as a reflection of that was some of the things that I was put through, because she had to figure out how she was going to pay for childcare. She had to, like, family didn't help out. It's always really been me and her. And granted, she speaks to her sister, you know, my aunt, and was speaking to my grandfather, my grandmother. My grandmother and I were very close for a certain amount of time. So, backtrack just a little bit. So, in the midst of when my mom was really in the military and was really doing shit by herself, it was a portion of me spending time in Mississippi. And that's another reason why me and family just, I don't know. I never respected how they did not care for me for real while my mother was out to sea. Niggas ain't give a fuck. Okay? And I think that's really why I haven't really cared to reach out to family, because when people needed you, where was you at? What was you doing for me? Like, what is that? And now I'm thinking about the reason why I act the way I act towards certain things and towards certain subjects. Because scarred. Oh my gosh, y'all, tomorrow's my first therapy session. I'm so excited. Like, I hope me and sis can work through this shit, or if she don't work out, somebody else. Because for real, growing up without a dad, I guess I never really thought about how much maybe that did affect me or has affected me. I feel like my mom was always angry because of everything that she had to take care of. And like I was saying last episode, that is why I don't really deal with my emotions well. And him not being around a lot of times resulted in, goddamn, resulted in my mother not choosing me sometimes. Wow, I've never worded it like that before. Which stemmed from him not choosing us. And I think that's why I kind of always feel like nobody ever chooses me. Damn, that's really how I feel. Or like when I choose somebody, it literally takes me forever to express that. For one, it's very hard for me to articulate my emotions. Like me right now, this is probably the best sometimes when I speak through here, how I've ever articulated my emotions. I think because it's coming to me and I'm just saying it. So a lot of times, like last episode when I was telling y'all, I love speaking out loud for things, about things to myself, because it helps me when I'm thinking on a subject. Like I want to say this to somebody. I got to go through practice mode, because if I don't, either I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to miss some points that I wish I would have fucking said, or I'm going to just be stumbling over my words, or I'm just really not going to know how to say it for real. And that's really where that came from. Just growing up, not seeing that dynamic because of him leaving. So you scarred my mother, which scarred me, because he left my mom in debt. Like both of their names was on the house. It took him forever to even agree to like signing divorce papers. Just holding on when you don't even need to hold on. What impact did you leave here other than trauma, bro? What else? So how does that make you feel? And it's so crazy. A few years ago, so mind you, this nigga has like a lot of kids, like more than 9, a lot of kids. Okay. And, my half sister, which is very interesting when she reached out to me, because I never really thought that like I had somebody out there, other people. I never really thought about it because I actually never really cared. So she reached out to me on Facebook and she wanted to connect, blah, blah, blah. We text for a little bit. But I wasn't really interested. And it's crazy because when I see her, she looks exactly like him. Me and her look so much like him. I hate the fact that I have his last name. And yes, hate is a very strong word, y'all. But I'm using it right now because I mean it. And it's like, it was a reminder of him. And that, when I look in the mirror, it's a reminder of my father. For one, because I look like him. 2, I have his complexion. My mother is dark skinned. I'm like a medium brown. I feel like he's a little lighter than me. But if I saw that man, I wouldn't know him from a can of paint. Sorry to that man. Don't know that man. I don't wish anything ill on him. Of course not. But back to what I was saying, because look at me getting off topic. But yeah, she reached out to me and I just wasn't interested. Like we were supposed to meet or whatever, but I was being fake. I really did not want to do that. I don't know. It's just a reminder of disappointment. And ultimately, while I was growing up without a dad, I don't think I ever wish I had a dad. I don't. Because again, mother raised me. You don't need a man for anything. You can do that. You can do this. You can do that. Facts. Because that's what I did. But it was always on my nerves. It's always on my nerves. Like, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And as, I entered my 20s, like, damn. Like, when I got my first apartment, I'm like, wow, I gotta pay for all of this. So then it's like I got a little taste, really, of what she went through, but with a mortgage. Whole different ball game. Plus mortgage, 2 people names on a house, debt. Like, I can't even imagine that. You know what I'm saying? So, back to the I want people to choose me thing. And I think that results in me trying to see the good in everybody, giving everybody the benefit of the doubt, because I felt like, I don't know. I'm not going to say it was his loss, But I guess sometimes I'll think about it as, okay, so why didn't he want to stay around? What was it? Like, was I not enough? Because even though he was cheating and all of that, he was married to my mother. So that life wasn't enough for you to settle down? My mother taking care of you when she needed to wasn't enough? And I think that's why I have a hard time letting people love me. Because it's like, do you really care about me? Or sometimes it's overbearing to me because I don't even know what that much love feels like. You know? And I don't feel like I necessarily missed out on anything, but I feel like maybe it would have been nice to have a father in my life, you know? Because sometimes when you see, you know, the different things, which I don't really get sad really until maybe around the holidays. For one, because I never had a big family or anything like that. But, you know, when you got a 2-parent household, it's like, damn, I really don't know how that feels. You know what I'm saying? And I think that adds to why. Because I'm 90% sure I do not want kids. One, raising somebody stresses. Like, thinking about that ideal of raising somebody stresses me the fuck out. And two, it's like, dang, so what if I get pregnant and maybe we married or in a serious relationship or whatever? Because realistically, a lot of people want to get married before they have kids. But okay, baby, we're getting older. A bitch is 27, okay? Like, what are the odds? I'm not jumping into no marriage. So what are the odds of me being married, having a baby? I'm not saying it can't happen, but baby, you gotta woo me. Because, no. But the thought of, like, possibly, like, having the dad just leave me by my lonesome, by myself, to raise this kid. And 3, I'm very selfish, which, you know, I was only child, so I'm gonna own that. But that I can't help. I can't help that I was selfish. But I wouldn't say, or that I am selfish, sorry. I wouldn't say that I longed for it while I was growing up, to be honest. I do think it contributes to the fact of why, for the most part, I was literally with anything as a kid. I still am. But I've always wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. Anytime, any place, anywhere. Really don't care. I think that contributes to me being very sneaky. I'm a very sneaky person. Baby, if I don't want you to know nothing, you're not gonna know it. But as a kid, I was very sneaky. Very sneaky. And my mother really never caught me doing a lot of things. I asked her a few months ago. I said, you want to know about some of the things I did as a kid? She was like, nah. She was like, nah, leave that to yourself. I'm like, okay. Because But I've always been on that type time. A little bit of a rebel. And I think that contributed to it also. Because, like, I don't know. I guess, what does a father teach you to a young lady? You know what I'm saying? Growing up. I really don't know. I don't. I never really felt like I was missing anything, though. Because growing up, honestly, I felt pretty lonely until high school, I would say. For real. Ugh, that sounds, ugh. Y'all don't feel sorry for me. I'm good. I don't want anybody feeling bad for me. But in all actuality, yeah. Because a little bit in high school, I started coming out of my shell like a little teeny bit. I feel like a lot of people knew who I was, but I didn't really care to know who other people were. But I started to talk more in high school, really 10th grade. But I don't think I missed out on anything. I don't really think about him like, hey, what is he doing? Or I wonder if he's doing X. I don't. And it's my mom, oh my gosh, she'll randomly ask me from time to time, you think your daddy dead? Like, relax. I'm like, well, we know if he was dead. Like, would they tell us that? I But it was just his fucking loss, man. I feel like I'm fucking awesome. Like, I feel like I'm a great person. I feel like I grew up decent without him. But a little part of me wonders how different my upbringing would have been if I had a dad around. If a little part of me would be able to depend on a man to do X, Y, and Z for me. Because sometimes I do wonder, like, you know, when people post, oh, my dad putting this up for me, or family portrait, like, I wonder sometimes, how does that feel? Because me, a lot of times, like, I don't have a problem doing things by myself. I don't have a problem going places by myself. I don't have a problem reading directions to put things up by myself. It's mad frustrating because I get irritated very fast. Hella fast, actually. But I don't have a problem doing those things because I've always had to do those things. Like, which I told y'all, because I didn't have a dad, I was cutting the fucking grass. Like, it was a point where, you know, we couldn't pay anybody to cut the grass. So I was out there cutting the grass. Washing my own car. I was doing that shit. I learned how to change oil, which I never actually did by myself. I just know how to, but I'm good on actually doing that. Niggas be getting dirty. I don't have time for that. But, you know, all the manly things, like, I've known since my mom introduced me to those things. So I honestly don't mind getting my hands dirty because that's how it's always been, you know? So it's like, okay, we don't have a man here to do it, so how else is it gonna get done? And I ain't paying you to do it, but I got a little bit more money now. I'm paying for convenience, period, because I'm tired of doing shit myself. But yeah, y'all, I don't know. Me growing up without him has really taught me resilience, though. Honestly. Because, you know, life is not easy. It's really not. And y'all know I said that. Being able to pick yourself up and do X, Y, and Z, it's like, it builds character. You know what I'm saying? It makes you appreciate different things in life different. But I do still wonder how my life would be if I had masculine energy in my life. But I'm very in tune with my masculine side. I really feel like in another lifetime I was a dude. But that's neither here or there. So, moral of the story is, he doesn't mean anything to me. Like, nothing. And it's crazy that that's how I feel. But these are actual facts. He doesn't mean a thing to me. And honestly now, yeah, I'm 27. Like, if he were to try to hit me up or something, and actually, I think he did add me on Facebook a few years ago from a profile with no picture, because it definitely said his first and last name. And I'm like, am I being punked right now? I think I accepted it for laughs and fucking giggles, but I wasn't going to talk to him. Like, if he were to find my phone number and call me, or find my email and email me, I would not reply back, because I don't have anything to say to that man. I have nothing to say. I think it will all be anger. Definitely got to talk to this. Definitely got to talk to this in therapy. But it's just like, what do you possibly have to say to me right now other than sorry? Because I don't even want your apology. That's how deep in my bag I feel right now about him. What did you contribute to my upbringing? All you contributed was your fucking sperm. All right, y'all. I'm done. I'm done for real. But yeah, moral of the story is, I'm okay without you. I'ma always be okay without you. I'm good on you. Never will need you. Never needed you. Now back to my positive vibes. I'm not mad anymore, y'all. I had to get that off my chest. So yeah, this is gonna be the end of this episode. Ooh, I made it to 25 minutes, period. Thank you guys for tuning in again. I'm so excited to continue my conversation. So I am gonna do a season thing. I put my story up on the Instagram if you're not following it. Just search Growing and Flowing Podcast. The full word for and, not the and sign, because it's not going to come up for you because Instagram does not allow that. But go ahead and give me a follow. Follow me if you are listening on Spotify. I think it's called follow on Apple Podcasts too. But I am going to do a season thing. I'm thinking about 15 episodes. I can't wait to have my guest episodes. Those are going to be the shit. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I will see you next time. Bye.